Welcome to the Supercast. I'm your host, Superintendent Anthony Godfrey. On today's edition of the Supercast, we get a look inside the agricultural program at West Jordan High School. It's a program that looks nothing like ag classes of the past. Here, high-tech combines with live farm animals like Winston the Pig and a greenhouse to teach students where their food comes from. Students who may never have set foot on a farm before. It is a learning environment they love. All right, we're here with Cody Gull in his classroom. There's an enormous skeleton of a horse with no name, apparently. And we also have several rabbits, floral arrangements, a number of juniors and seniors, and who knows what else he has because he teaches a wide range of classes. Cody, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What do we have going on here today?
This is my equine science class, and we are talking about nutrient deficiencies in horses.
So I hear we might be snipping some bunny...
Some rabbit nails. Tricia, do you want to help with that? Do you want me to hold, or do you want to hold it? Okay.
So Tricia, are these bunnies' names?
That's Bruce and Karen.
Bruce and Karen. Is that based on something... Is that an obscure pop culture reference I'm not aware of?
Karen's just, she wants to talk to the manager.
Based on personality.
I see. Karen
Okay,
wants to
someone
talk
else
to the
come
manager.
over here, and I'm going to help you clip them. April, come on over. So Tricia's going to hold them, and I'll tell you where to clip.
Is it kind of scary to do that? Is it hard? Which is the harder job? Holding the rabbit or clipping the nails?
Holding it.
Holding it? Is it a rabbit or a bunny?
The technical term is a rabbit. Bunnies are babies. And so you want to make sure that when you're clipping, you are clipping right at where the light part of the nail ends. So about right there, because there's veins inside of there, so you don't want to clip too high up, and hold tight in case he doesn't like it. Okay.
Is this Bruce or Karen?
Bruce.
Bruce seems very calm about this, like Bruce doesn't
He's
know
a
what he's
pro.
in for. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's kind of like a hole punch that is just going around the rabbit toe. Is there anything lucky about rabbit toes as opposed to rabbit's feet? Or rabbit toenails?
I think the lucky part is not getting scratched as you are pulling them out of the cages and holding them.
That's very lucky. Why do you clip the bunny's nails?
Mainly clip them so that when students get them out to handle them, they don't get scratched, because they're super, super sharp and they draw blood very easily.
Do you ever do a manicure
No.
or a bunny cure?
No, that doesn't exist.
Just a buff and clear polish?
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Can I touch Bruce?
Yeah.
Can I
It's
pet
very
Bruce?
soft.
Oh wow, Bruce is very soft. Bruce is gray and white. Very big dark eyes. I like Bruce. Bruce is very chill. Does someone take equine science if they have been around horses, or they're just interested, or who signs up? Who mostly has interest in that sort of class?
Any ag kid. So a lot of these kids took my animal science class or floriculture class, and so it was basically through recruitment. I only actually have one student in here that has horses at home in this class, and so and she's a barrel racer, so she has extensive experience with her own horses. But
I see.
Other than that, everyone else they were able to take this class because of word of mouth from my other animal science classes that I teach, and just something that they're interested in taking.
And how long have you been teaching here at West Jordan High School?
This is my second year at West Jordan High School and second year teaching total.
Great. So you teach equine science. What other?
Yeah, so I teach equine science, I teach animal science 1, and then animal science 2, which is just a more advanced animal science. We go into a little more detail. It's a little meatier, but it's also quite a bit more hands-on, because the kids are able to take that animal science 1 class that gives them the science part of things.
Yeah.
And they learn all the terminology and all of that, and then they're able to apply it in animal science to specific things. And then I also teach a floriculture and greenhouse management class, and that class is super fun and also super hands-on. All of my classes are very hands-on, but the floriculture class is the most hands-on. We make a monthly floral arrangement so that we are able to sell to faculty and staff and community members, and it's all student work. They choose the arrangement that they make every month. They choose the flowers that go in that arrangement. They choose everything. They learn the business end of things, so they learn how to kind of run a floral business the first half of the year, and then the second half of the year, starting in January, we are working in our greenhouse.
So if they're behind on getting a flower arrangement together, do you tell them to put the pedal to the metal?
That's a great one. I've never used that one, but I'm going to
right.
start using it now.
I was just checking. I don't know that I've ever met a teacher who teaches a wider range of subjects than you do. I know they're all kind of outside and nature related, I suppose, but floral arranging and equine science, that's quite a wide range.
Jump.
What made you interested in teaching those subjects?
So I come from a background of agriculture, fairly extensive. I'm from Spanish Fork, and so I was able to kind of grow up as on the farm doing all these sorts of things, from having my own horses and cows and pigs and all sorts of different animals.
Sure.
And through high school, I was able to be involved in an agriculture education program and in the FFA, and it just it was something that I knew when I was a sophomore that I needed to be an ag teacher, and I wanted to be an ag teacher, and so I just followed the plan, and the rest is kind of history, and here I am.
I like the way you say that. I needed to be an ag teacher.
Yeah.
You just knew that's what you needed to do.
I just knew that was what I needed to do by my sophomore year.
That's fantastic. Well, I have to admit that everything you teach is way out of my range of talent and ability, so I'm thrilled that you're here and that you're teaching that. When we come back, we'll introduce you to Winston the Pig. He's just one animal playing an important role in ag education at West Jordan High School.
Hey, you okay? Yeah. I just have a lot of stuff going on in my head.
You need to talk, dude. Stop hiding behind the happy face.
Talk with no filter. Get the Safe UT app. Download it now.
Available on the Apple App Store, Google Play, or safeut.org.
Welcome back. Now it's time to find out what goes on in the greenhouse and small farm setting behind West Jordan High as part of the agricultural program. Walked out behind West Jordan High School. What facilities are available to students here for this program?
So for the ag program right now, we have our full production greenhouse where we are able to grow all sorts of different flowers and a variety of different vegetables. We also are in the process of creating a mini animal lab. We will be getting a barn, just a small 20 by 20 foot barn to put out here by the end of this month. Students are able to purchase market goat and market lambs to raise for the Salt Lake County Fair. A lot of the students that we have here in our program don't come from an agricultural background.
Sure.
And so with it being a more urban area, we need to, I really believe that the importance of giving students these hands-on opportunities, like exhibiting an animal at the Salt Lake County Fair, and so providing a place for that animal and providing the entire learning experience from when they get the lamb or the goat to the time they get to sell it and make money on that animal.
I think it would be surprising to a lot of kids exactly what is involved in raising the animals that provide food for them ultimately at the end of the line. And I'm excited to see what's going on. I think I heard a pig in the background.
Yeah.
What is that noise from the pig? It's an oink, but what does it mean? Oh. Oh, it's trying to escape you.
That means leave me alone.
What is your name?
Brendan.
Brendan?
Mm-hmm.
Do you consider yourself a pig master?
Not really. I like pigs, but...
You like pigs.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the pig's name?
Winston.
Winston.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very sophisticated name. I like that. Have you handled pigs before this class?
I have not.
So he's actually a miniature pig. Not that that's actually a thing. There's no such thing as an actual miniature pig, because he could grow up to be 300 pounds. But he's about 6 months old now, and weighs right around 40 pounds. You just have to be very careful what you feed them and how much, because they can grow up to be big pigs.
So the ultimate size of the pig depends on what you feed it.
Yes.
And so how does the pig interact with students in your classes? How do you use the pig as part of instruction?
So when we are talking about different animals' behaviors or different training, we incorporate him into that. We can also talk about the conformation of the animals when we're doing livestock judging and stuff like that. Pointing out specific things on the pig or on any animal is always a really, really valuable tool to use. If the students can see it and touch it, it's usually very valuable, and they're able to remember that.
Oh, no, Wilbur wanted to eat the microphone. We're going to keep that from happening. What are you feeding Winston?
Right now we are giving him just some mini pig treats, and they're blueberries and cream flavored. But his food in general, we feed him an 18% hog feed, 18% protein hog feed, and that kind of, we just give him about a half a pound a day, and that is what he eats. And then he also loves marshmallows. Those are his favorite. So
he loves marshmallows, blueberries, and cream. Is he a millennial pig? Does he eat only organic, or?
Probably. Yeah.
You talked about animal behavior earlier. Can you tell me about Wilbur's behavior and what there is to learn about behavior from Wilbur?
Yeah, so when we were getting him out of the pen, when he was making that noise and it sounded really aggressive.
It did sound aggressive. It sounded like he was forming syllables.
Yes. That was his way of saying, I would really prefer if you don't bother me. But obviously once he was out and he's getting treats, he's singing a different tune.
So like many humans, he's resistant to change.
Yes.
But once he settles in, he can see the benefits of being out and having some blueberries and cream.
Absolutely.
Wow. So is it difficult for students, once they've raised an animal in your program, to then sell it knowing that it's going to become food?
That is a great question, and Diana here was one of the very first to experience that just last year.
Tell us about your experience last year. What did you raise?
I raised the lamb.
And what was the lamb's name?
I didn't give him a name until I sold it.
Until you sold it? You
yeah.
gave it a name as you said goodbye.
Yeah, it's because I didn't want to get
gesture.
I didn't want to get too attached. Then I thought naming it would, I would grow and name it, and then
I understand.
I'd be too friendly with it, and then it'd be hard for me to let go.
Did you feel like even without a name you gained this close connection to the animal?
Yeah. But it was, I knew it was for food, and I didn't want to get too attached.
Is this an experience you'd be able to have without this class?
Definitely not. I don't think I would have been interested in purchasing a livestock animal and raising it. Just because I've never been interested in lambs or anything goats.
What is it that made you want to take the class?
It was my last science credit I needed, to be honest. Good. And I was like, okay, I'll just animal science. I don't need any other credits. So with animal science, I'll be able to stop. And then he introduced the idea of having lambs, and I was like, yeah, what the heck? I've never done it before. This should be an experience.
But that's a good thing. That's what happens sometimes, is those high school requirements make you take a class you might not otherwise take, and you learn some things about the world and what interests you. Yeah.
And then, so I got my animal science credit. All my science credits are complete, and now I'm in his animal 2 class.
So what would you say to parents and students who are maybe considering this class?
Oh, definitely do it. It's so much fun.
You learn a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Do you care more about animals having taken this class?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know how to take care of them correctly, and
do you feel like you could live off the land now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, that's good. Brendan, I think you experienced the circle of life a little bit earlier, didn't you? What happened earlier with Wilbur?
Looked like he was sniffing my boot, and either something came out of his mouth or his nose, but he moved away, and there was just something on my boot.
So something came out of Wilbur and onto your boot.
Uh-huh.
these things happen. I'm wearing one of my favorite pairs of dress suit shoes, so Wilbur and I are probably not going to get very friendly right now, but I'm not dressed for Wilbur. But Wilbur, gratefully, is not paying me much attention. He's rooting in dead leaves, and who can blame him? So you know this is part of the bargain, right? I guess that sometimes things come out of animals and land on you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're good with that.
Yeah, it's an adventure, really.
Yeah, it is an adventure. You can't say that about every class. It's an adventure. I like that. Do you think Wilbur has a pretty good life here, or?
Yeah, I think he does, because it helps us learn new things about pigs and animals. So.
Wilbur seems to be enjoying himself. Do pigs wag their tails? Because he kind of seemed to be a minute ago.
Yeah. Seems pretty happy.
What about the chickens? You look around and suddenly there's another animal.
Okay, so the chickens are one of my students' SAE projects. An SAE project is a supervised agricultural experience. And what that means is when a student enters any of my ag classes, they are required to fulfill an SAE project of some kind.
Okay.
That project includes anything involving agriculture. So it can be something as simple as researching careers in agriculture and then writing about them, about what they learned, and that gives them that career exploration part of an SAE.
Yeah.
They can purchase a chicken coop with chickens, and that's their project. And so with that, Caitlin owns these chickens. They obviously are housed here at the high school because she's not able to keep them at her own house. But she has 5 hens. They lay, each of them lay about an egg a day, and she's able to take those eggs home to her family, and she's actually started selling some to close friends and relatives as well. So
wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So chickens, pigs, rabbits. What else? What's next?
Chickens, pigs, and rabbits are what we have right now. If you were to come back in April, we will have 10 to 12 lambs and 10 to 12 goats that kids will have purchased to raise at the county fair.
So, and I love how students talk about a project. You know, we talk about project-based learning, but if you look at raising a goat or a sheep or a pig, and seeing that whole process all the way through, that's true project-based learning.
It's really cool to watch all of their hard work pay off, because in turn my hard work pays off.
Yeah, and when you put it that way, you really do get to see the difference and see the result of your work. The sense of efficacy must be very high for participation in this class, when you really know that the effort you put into something brings a result.
Along with that, the program here, when I started 2 years ago, we had about 30 active FFA members, and we've more than doubled. We've got about 75 active FFA members now, and I went from having maybe 150 to 180 kids in my classes to having over 200 this year. And so seeing that program grow and seeing other kids hear about that from their friends and from their family and stuff, and having them come be involved, it really is it's a great feeling for me, but it's even better and more rewarding for the kids. Well, classes grow like that when there's a great teacher, so thanks for being a great teacher and providing an awesome experience for kids. Appreciate it. We'll be back in just a few moments. Stay with us.
Do you want to know what's going on in Jordan School District? Maybe see your child or a friend featured in a school story? Check out our website at jordandistrict.org or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jordan District. Let's connect today.
Hi, Kim. Nice to see you.
Nice to be with you.
Tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
My name is Kim Dubrow. I am the Career and Technical Education Coordinator at Mountain Ridge High School. I'm a former agriculture teacher. I taught ag at West Jordan High School for 19 years before I moved over to being a CTE coordinator.
And tell us some about the agricultural science courses that are available throughout the district and the experience students can have.
So we're lucky in Jordan School District. Every high school in our district and our 2 JATCs have an agriculture program. Some of them are budding and growing, and some of them are thriving. We teach, as you heard, the wide range. We have floriculture, greenhouse management, equine science, small and companion animal. We have a landscaping program at the South JATC. At the North JATC, we have a vet tech program. It's just huge, all the different offerings that we have in our district.
And we're standing in the greenhouse behind West Jordan High School. Tell you as we walked in, you said this was your favorite place. Tell us about why.
Well, I actually had this greenhouse built when I was here teaching.
Oh, wow.
I had a smaller one, and they tore down my barn and my greenhouse to expand the football stadium, and then built this beautiful greenhouse. This is my happy place, because we start with this tiny little seed, and then we get to see things grow. Kind of like with our agriculture students, they come in with no knowledge, and then it grows and expands, which is really important because we live in a day and age where people are agriculturally illiterate.
Yes.
We're so far removed from the family farm that people think, oh, I can just go to the store and get my food. Well, I had a saying on a bulletin board in my classroom that said, agriculture, without it, you would be hungry and naked. And I truly believe that, because people think, I just go to the store and buy my clothes. Well, it takes a farmer to raise the cotton to make their clothes. And it takes a farmer to raise their food. And people often think that agriculture is just growing of food and crops, but it's so much more. We're the largest employer in the United States. You've got to have somebody who comes up with new seeds and new strains of seeds. So you've got science, you've got people who have to transport your food from point A to point B. So we've got truck drivers, we've got food scientists, we've got marketers. Everything that we do ties back to agriculture.
Well, when you said agriculturally illiterate, you kind of looked at me like you could tell that that's exactly me. You get joy out of seeing a seed grow. I get a full-grown plant, and I end up with dead leaves and a flower pot of death. So I should have taken your class. I should have taken your class in high school. I wish I could go back in time and do that. What do you wish that parents and students who might be considering a class knew about ag science opportunities in Jordan?
That they're the best classes for students to take, because we teach students how to work. I think that parents need to understand that their kids are going to learn so much more than, everybody looks, oh, they're just a farmer. Farmers are the smartest people we have, because they have to understand the weather, they have to understand when to plant, they have to understand when to harvest, they have to know when to fertilize. And their students, if parents knew how much their kids could gain and know about themselves. I had an amazing agriculture teacher when I was a student at Bingham High School who made me want to be an ag teacher. And I have a former student who is now an ag teacher.
Wow.
It's awesome to know
great.
that you can touch, and have that influence in students, and watching your students who never thought that they would be involved in agriculture pound on your truck window when you're buying sod and saying, newbie, guess what? And I said, you're working in agriculture. He's like, yeah, who'd have thunk? Wow. So there's so many opportunities for students to grow, and the leadership opportunities through the FFA change kids' lives.
You had me at kids learn how to work, because I think it's so easy to spend time on a screen or doing other things, but when you're out here, Wilbur needs attention. There's nothing else you can do. You have to take care of him. So I think this is awesome. Thank you very much for talking with us, and thanks for all you've done over the years to continue ag science.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks to everyone who took time to give us a close-up look at what agriculture programs look like in our schools today. They provide a wide range of opportunities for students interested in ag-related careers, and they build excitement about learning. Now, any of you listeners out there who realized that I called Winston Wilbur later in the program get extra credit. And you really get extra credit if you know that I called him Wilbur, because that's the pig in Charlotte's Web. Thanks to those of you who joined us today, and remember, Education is the most important thing you will do today. We'll see you out there.